Kris Krohn here with Limitless TV. Fear. Man, it is time to get that out of your way. And so guess what we're going to do today? I'm going to be sharing with you a process that can help make just that happen, to make your fear disappear. Fear. False expectations appearing real. The things in life that we are most afraid of, they're not even real. And yet what's interesting is that we make them grossly real. For just a moment, consider what a shot is. You go to the doctor and they take this needle, and if you've ever had a fear shot, or you can imagine someone that does or know someone that is, there's this incredible fear that when I get the shot, that it's going to be what? I'm afraid of the pain. I'm afraid of the idea of a needle going inside of me. Now, let me ask you, how long does it really last when someone gives you a shot? Well, the initial pain lasts a moment. Like, you can measure it. It's like a second, and maybe for 1 or 2 more seconds you feel like that after residual pain, and then it's gone. And yet we have the ability to focus on that right here so powerfully that if I know that I'm getting a shot in 2 months and I keep reminding myself of it, then I can feel 2 months worth of pain that in reality is actually going to get collapsed into one tiny small moment. Well, the reality is most of the shots that you fear, you're never even going to get. What other things in life are you afraid of that aren't real? They're not even happening, and yet you live with them present where? You live with them presently in your mind, and you allow them to torment you. You allow them to plague you. And what I want to share with you is a story of probably one of the most fearful moments of my life. And then I'm going to share with you a process of what I did and what you can do to take any fear and step through it so that it never has to torment you again. In the past, one of my big fears was fear of loss. And many, many years ago, I had friends that in the downturn of 2007 and 2008, during that downturn, I had friends that were losing their really big houses. They were losing their businesses. It was all burning to the ground. It was economy driven. And when the economy wasn't there to sustain them, it was gone. And that wasn't happening to me. And yet I wondered, what would it be like to be them? And I decided to prey upon this fear of loss that I have to find out what was behind it. So I turned off all of the different faucets in my business. I drained all of my accounts, and I just let the money go down. And this idea of having worked so hard to get somewhere and then to start all over again, or worse, to start so far behind, I thought that was scary. So I went on this journey. And over a period of nearly a year, I drained all of my accounts to zero. And I remember when my personal home account was at $50,000, and it was shocking how scary that was. I had this moment of fear come up, and I thought, Kris, you're headed for death and destruction financially, and it's going to hurt your family, and it's going to impact everything. Everything's going to implode. And I processed through it, and I kept going. Same feeling happened when I hit 20,000. Processed the fear, let go of it. I woke up with $1,800 in my bank account. I was within a week then of going default on not being able to pay my bills, not paying my credit cards or any of those different things. And I felt strangely at peace. I was running in the canyon that morning doing a self-made marathon with a friend. And this is a friend who was also in a similar situation at the time, but went on years later. He's now become a multimillionaire. We were running in the canyon, and I was sharing with him what was happening in my life. And I was in the 26th mile, so I was at the very end of this. And I was so tired, I was done. I just didn't want to go on. And I just turned to him and I said, Andy, please stay with me. Help me finish this. And then he asked me, what have you been learning? And I spoke what felt. It was beautiful revelation and inspiration all in that moment of the 3 things that I learned from taking me through a process of losing everything. The first thing that I learned, there's no way that I won't be able to provide a roof for my children. No matter what, I'm resourceful enough that even if I got kicked out of my house, they'd always have a roof. Number 2, I would always be able to feed them. They would always have the food. They would always have 3 square meals a day. I'm that resourceful no matter how bad it ever got. The third one surprised me. I want to leave a legacy of passion to my children. And that's easy, because on my death day, if I'm not worth a buck, but I gave the legacy of passion and provided food and roof, then that was a worthy life. And then my fear dissipated. Fear is optional. as you're about to find out with the process I'm going to share with you right now. So I'm going to share with you a real simple process that you can do right now to eradicate fear. Because remember, fear doesn't need to be there. The only reason why your fear is there in the first place is by virtue of what? Your choice. You chose into this fear. And take accountability for that. And now I'm going to show you how you can choose out of it. Got here a clipboard, a marker, and I'm going to write a fear. I'm afraid of rejection. Okay, now this is an example fear of something that I might have. And on my piece of paper, I'm going to invite you to actually list out every fear you can possibly think of. I think it's worthy of taking 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. In fact, as long as you can keep thinking of fears, write them down. And I'm going to take this fear when I'm ready, and I'm going to do something with it. I'm going to transform it. Now, we know that one of Newton's laws is that matter can either be created or destroyed. But if I burn this, guess what? What does it turn into? Well, it transforms into gas and air and a little bit of ash. So no matter is actually lost, it's just transformed. What are you going to transform your fear into? Well, instead of fear of rejection, I might write down and come up with, I accept me. I want you to notice 3 things about this statement because I want you to understand how the mind works. It is positive, it is powerful, and it is present tense. The subconscious mind only processes present statements. So it doesn't matter if it hasn't been true, even here in this moment, for it to become true, you must believe it as if it is. So it is present, it is powerful, it is positive. I accept me, which means that I validate me. I don't need to live by the approval of other people. Hence, I don't need to fear rejection. So I've got these 2 ideas, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to transform this first, this physical matter, and then I'm going to transform this mental matter. So I'm going to take this. If you remember what I wrote here, this is my fear of rejection. And after you've written your entire list, go create a moment. Burning this, which I really hope doesn't turn on my sprinkler system, burning this does not eliminate fear. Choice. Choice is what eliminates fear. So, my name is Kris Krohn, and I choose out of this ridiculous thought and notion that I'm afraid of rejection. And in its place, I get to replace that with, I accept me. Take this new list, close your eyes, and embrace this new thought. Consciously choose it. I accept me. Friends, let go of the past. In order to create new results in your life, you have to learn how to let go of what's not working. Sometimes things need to die or burn up or transform to make room for new results, new life, new ideas, new thoughts. Rejection doesn't serve me. Accepting myself does. What are the thoughts in your life that are worth burning up and replacing with the thoughts and ideas that will serve you? And then I invite you to recite those words on your paper, whatever they are, powerful, positive, and present, every day until you naturally believe them, until they become a natural part of who you are. Friends, conquering fear is simply a matter of letting go of it. And friends, that's how you overcome fear. Now, I got a lot of more processes coming your way, so all you got to do is subscribe, and we'll be submitting some more videos. Also, make some comments below. Tell us how it's going when you're burning up your fears, or if you've got other ideas of how you are releasing fears. Finally, if you want to ultimately release all fears, come spend 3 days at Limitless. The details are below.